You probably think of grandmas as sweet, slow-moving ladies who knit scarves and bake cookies. But let me tell you about Grandma Rita, the woman who once outran 2 cop cars and a helicopter in a 1972 cherry red convertible. Yes, you heard me right. It all started on a humid Tuesday afternoon in Florida. Rita, 76, had just left the bingo hall, where, by the way, she won $500 and a ham, when she stopped by a local antique shop to just take a look. But what she didn't realize was that the vintage gold pocket watch she bought for $25 had been stolen from the mayor's private collection. She had no idea. She just thought it looked classy. Now the cops had been tracking that watch with a hidden RFID chip, and once it moved, alarms went off. Within minutes, police cruisers were dispatched to intercept the thief. Of course, they expected some sleazy guy in a leather jacket, not a grandmother in orthopedic shoes, wearing oversized sunglasses and a hat with fake fruit on top. Rita was just pulling onto Highway 1 in her old cabriolet, enjoying the wind in her silver curls, when she noticed the flashing lights in her mirror. She squinted. "Oh Lord, what did I do now?" she muttered. She slowed down. One of the officers stepped out, hand on his belt, and motioned for her to pull over. She rolled down the window. "Ma'am, I need you to step out of the vehicle." "What for?" "We believe you're in possession of stolen property." Rita blinked. Then she remembered the pocket watch and thought, "Wait a minute, did I just get scammed?" But instead of calmly handing over the watch and clearing things up, something snapped inside her. Maybe it was years of watching too many crime shows. Maybe it was the thrill of adventure. Or maybe it was just Florida heat and bad judgment. Whatever the reason, Grandma Rita slammed the gas. The rear wheels squealed, and the old convertible lurched forward like a rocket, the wind catching her floral scarf as she merged onto the highway like a NASCAR driver with nothing to lose. "Holy crap," muttered one officer. "She's running." And just like that, the chase was on. For the next 20 minutes, police chased a 76-year-old woman driving a classic cabriolet like she was born to outrun the law. Cars swerved, horns blared. Rita weaved through traffic like she'd done it 100 times. The convertible didn't even have power steering, but she handled it like a champ. Years of parking at crowded supermarkets had trained her well. At one point, a helicopter joined the pursuit. Rita looked up, adjusted her sunglasses, and muttered, "Y'all are being a bit dramatic, aren't you?" She turned off the highway and sped through back roads, narrowly missing a fruit stand, a wedding photo shoot, and one very confused goat. But her luck was running out. As she turned down a narrow bridge road, a large truck appeared from the other direction. Rita had 2 choices: stop and get arrested, or veer off the road onto a dusty slope. She didn't even hesitate. She turned the wheel hard, and the cabriolet launched off the shoulder, flying like a scene from an action movie, before crashing down into a shallow ditch with a spray of dust and gravel. The engine sputtered, coughed, and died. Rita sat there, hands still gripping the wheel, heart pounding like a drum solo. Then she laughed. Not a panicked laugh, but a full, belly-shaking laugh. The kind you let out when you realize how completely insane everything is. The cops surrounded her car moments later, guns drawn, only to find a little old lady sipping from a bottle of water, casually wiping dust off her purse. "Ma'am," said one of the officers, out of breath, "what the hell were you thinking?" Rita handed over the pocket watch and said, "I honestly just liked how it ticked." They didn't know whether to arrest her or hug her. In the end, they cuffed her gently and took her in. But not before letting her pose next to the convertible for a photo. She asked them to tag her on Facebook. The charges were eventually dropped. Turns out the shop owner who sold her the stolen watch was the real criminal, and Rita had no idea what she was buying. But after that day, she became a local legend. People called her the Getaway Grandma. Kids asked for her autograph. A movie producer even called once, though she said, only if Meryl Streep plays me. She never drove the cabriolet again. It sat in her garage, slightly dented, still covered in dust from that final ride. But sometimes she'd go out there, sit behind the wheel, and smile. "I wasn't trying to be a criminal," she'd say. "I just didn't feel like stopping." And we believed her, because that's the kind of woman Grandma Rita was. Wild at heart, unstoppable in spirit, and always full of surprises.